Imagine Google is like a super smart detective trying to figure out exactly what your business does. It doesn't just look at a words you write, it's actually playing a guessing game to understand your business. We wanted to know something cool. What happens if we add different categories to our business listing? Now, a lot of people will say that, yeah, it's a good practice to add secondary categories, but at the same time, some say that it dilutes rankings. We wanted to find a real thing backed with real data. We tested adding categories that were totally perfect for our business, kind of related to our business, and third, sometimes even a little bit random. And yeah, I do mean way too random. Dentist in a marketing agency, Google business profile, stuff like that, On this one, I'm gonna exactly show you that stuff, what we did, what sort of results that we got, and exactly the breakdown of it. Before I start with the video, I just want to thank one person, Mark from Web20 Ranker, for letting me use a lot of his stuff. A lot of stuff that I'm gonna mention in the video belongs to him, and he kindly gave me the permission to use them. So yeah, thanks Mark again. Now coming to the point, what we did, we systematically added various categories to our business profile, some directly related to our service and others that were tangentially or seemingly unrelated. And yeah, I do mean unrelated in a manner which is actually unrelated. So if you see this, this is a GMB of Chicago SEO Pro. If you see, we have got internet marketing service. Yep, this was already there. Marketing agency, website designer, stuff like that. These were already there. We got in and we added dentist, hair salon, resort, and stuff like that. And just so you know, we don't do this to any of our clients. All the experiments that we do or stuff like that, it happens on kind of lead gen businesses and stuff like that. So yeah. So if you see, we added some irrelevant categories to actually see how it performs. Now coming to the performing side of things, we didn't see any negative movements, as you can see with the grids. We didn't see any negative movements to our primary categories here, other than some natural movements, obviously. And remember one thing, we didn't add categories related to internet marketing services here and stuff like that. It were already there. So it's pretty obvious that we will further get rankings for those terms. We mainly wanted to see if we will kind of de-rank if we add irrelevant categories. So what I want to say here is, it was obvious that we won't further get rankings for those terms. Rather, our motive was to see whether we are getting hit by Google for adding irrelevant categories or not. Okay, I hope that makes sense now. If you see this thing, previously we weren't ranking for terms like lawyer, SEO and stuff like that. But when we added lawyer to our categories in Google business profile, it started popping up for related terms like attorney SEO, lawyer SEO and stuff like that. Here you can see the before and after. A lot of items, law firm SEO, attorney SEO, and then stuff like that. Now, test number 2, where we added secondary categories with keywords. When I say secondary categories with keywords, for instance, let's say if you're a personal injury lawyer, your secondary category might be something that contains car accident. I'm not sure if it's already there, if it exists in Google's database or not, but something like that. If you are a cleaning company, you have got a main service you want to rank for, maybe if there's a relevant category. And yeah, one thing, I'll come to that later on, don't ever mistake adding irrelevant categories. You might see short-term gains, but we did see some long-term losses after that. Okay, so I'll tell you how you have to do that thing. Okay, let's focus on test number 2 now. Here we added secondary categories with keywords, and before adding the categories, we were not really showing up for those money terms. Here you can see, for terms like car title loans, we weren't really showing up, even though our title was, our GMB title was having a bit of that. Here we added a lot of categories, and after adding them, we saw improvements. Here you can see, for car title loans, from showing nowhere, we actually started popping up. A lot of other terms also showed improvement. Here's an example of fast title loan, stuff like that. That's the stuff that happened after we added relevant categories. Okay, make sure you remember this. We added relevant categories having those keywords in it because it moved the needle. And now, as I was telling you, don't ever mistake adding irrelevant ones. Like we did, we added lawyer, we added dentist to kind of see how it improves ranking in lawyer SEO, dentist SEO and stuff like that. It did improve for sure initially, but if you see, it just went down from 0 to kind of somewhere to again 0. So don't bother doing that. I'll say that again and again. Now coming to the point, what we found, the results were pretty fascinating, I would say. We discovered that adding relevant categories can improve your listings visibility. That's pretty obvious. Irrelevant categories does have influence, but it's short-term stuff. It ain't for long-term. Okay, you will eventually fall down. Okay, that's the thing that we found. Then another thing, services and reviews plays a crucial role. So if you can get your keywords in service section and reviews as well, make sure to have that. That will give that GBP a boost for sure. I can't stress more on that. Okay, now how you can utilize it. So First, make sure you are doing a category research for your business, competitor research, then more of the stuff, maybe go to pepper.com, check the stuff. I have already got a video on how to do GBP audit. Make sure you check that video. It has a lot of golden nuggets in it, so make sure you check that. Other than that, I would say add relevant categories, add relevant secondary categories where you are having that keywords in it, but again, you gotta make sure that it's relevant. You can add lawyer to a SEO marketing company's GBP. Make sure if you're a personal injury attorney, you're adding secondary categories like Rx in lawyer, stuff like that. That makes sense. That is actually relevant. Just one more thing, I'm saying this again and again, don't add irrelevant categories, otherwise maybe, who knows, your GBP, GMB, whatever you want to say, that might be filtered out, that might get shadow banned. You might go from being somewhere to being nowhere. And yeah, that was it. Just a tip, think of your categories as a precise map of your business actual service expertise. And if you want to pick one more thing from the video, it would be add those secondary categories in which you're having the keywords that you want to rank for. It certainly helps. That was all for today's guide, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you got any question, feel free to comment below. I'll be very happy to answer them. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye, have a great day.